Hello, hello,
Ah,
hello.
welcome to the podcast, and y'all ass wanna talk about what y'all ass. Everything from Nostradamus, Lil Pump, all the way down to Donald Trump. But black issues will be always at the forefront. Hoodies, I know that's just what y'all want. Black life, black love, all of the above. It's King Rashidi, isotone gloves. I'm ready. It's Rise, God Kings. Rest in peace to the God Queens.
Hello,
Hey,
hello.
1 2 1 2. Is this thing on? Yo, listen. I want to welcome everybody back to another dope, exciting, informative episode of Hoodies, the podcast, session 14. Yo, welcome back, Big. You know what I'm saying? Welcome back, man. Hoodies, podcast, 14. Let's get right into it, man. You already know who I'm about to shout out real quick. The Skill Youth Chess Club. It's the mentoring program specifically designed for black boys. I know I'm always mentioning this every podcast, but if I don't put it out there, who will? Yeah, that's what I thought. Listen, if you'd like to make a donation to the Skill Youth Chess Club, the link to do so is paypal.me/skill the barbershop. Again, that's paypal.me/skill the barbershop. I fund this program on my own dime, no grants, no nothing, and that's the way I would like it to be. Also being on my own dime, it's also through donations as well. As a matter of fact, this upcoming weekend, this upcoming Saturday, I will be conducting a basic self-defense, conflict resolution, confidence building type session, where we will be throwing those hands. I'm getting mouthpieces for these young kings and headsets. I got the gloves and the pads and all of that. And it's going to be intense, a little more intense than before. So this time it won't be just so basic. Once again, if you'd like to make a donation to the Skill Youth Chess Club, I've given you the link, paypal.me/skill the barbershop. All donations are welcomed. However, $20 and better receives a free gift. I thank you in advance for your donation. I could really use your help. I could really use your help and your capital to help me bring new things to these young black men. Help me broaden their horizons by donating either your time or funds. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. I love y'all. All right, listen, man, let's get into this thing. I'd like to start off giving a special shout out to a sister by the name of Deshauna Spencer. Who is Deshauna Spencer? Deshauna Spencer is founder of Quelly TV. Quelly TV is, for the most part, it's like Netflix for black people, by black people, starring black people. Okay, it's like Netflix, to where it's like a streaming media platform. Only this streaming media platform is for black filmmakers all over the world. Okay, Quelly TV handpicks all of its content. Okay, and it's not just for, you know, it's just not. If any of you are familiar with ABFF Independent, that comes on TV One, it's sort of like that, but even better. Okay, it's got your short films, and then it's got your full feature films. And I'm not talking like, you know, them B movies and shit that you catch on BET. Not that I watch it, but y'all know what I'm talking about when I say B movies. That some rapper or individual with a decent amount of money decided, hey, I'm going to make a movie, and they just whip something up. And it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes they make a decent one, and sometimes it's pure garbage. But, you know, hey, at least they're trying. But anyway, Quelly TV, I'd like to also add that it celebrates global black culture. You know what I'm saying? So it celebrates the plight of black people throughout the whole diaspora, if you dig what I'm saying. And the diaspora meaning all of us who are spread out, you know, throughout the world as a result of colonialism, slavery, transatlantic slave trade, and shit like that. Like I said, there's indie films, documentaries, shows, there's kids series even, and kids events. Like I said, the whole diaspora, the U.S., Africa, Europe, Latin America, the Caribbean. I mean, it's fire. To subscribe to Quelly TV, it's just $5.99 a month, as opposed to $13.99 with Netflix. All right. So do yourself a favor. If you're tired of the same mundane, type shows on Netflix, and don't get me wrong, I'm not, you know what I mean? I watch Netflix too. Make that plain. I watch Netflix too. However, I appreciate Deshauna Spencer in creating Quelly TV because now I get to have my fill, of black films and black filmmakers. You understand what I'm saying? And not just say someone from New York or from the South or someone from Compton. I get to see, what I'm saying, and hear different languages of black folk. Well, they're not, in most cases, it's not a black folks language. It's, sometimes they speak French and there's subtitles and stuff like that. However, it's just good to hear another language from black folk who live somewhere else. And that probably didn't come out right, but I love to see the plight of black people, not just here in America, but abroad. Like I said, it's $5.99 a month as opposed to $13.99. So yeah, man, subscribe to Quelly TV. And by the way, Quelly means truth in Swahili. I didn't know that. So yeah, shout out to Deshauna Spencer, founder of Quelly TV. Subscribe to Quelly TV. I did. You'll be glad you did, man. Word up. So yeah, let's get into this thing. All right. Once again, I want to welcome you all to another episode of Hoodies, the podcast, session 14. Sometimes I make the error of repeating myself sometimes. So I want to apologize in advance if I've said some things that I've said before on other podcasts. Blame it on my head, not my heart. I do listen to my own material from time to time. However, I don't listen to all of them in its entirety. Right? So anyway, let's get into this thing. Word up. I want to talk about the effectiveness of marching. All right? And this podcast won't be all that long either. I want to talk about the effectiveness of marching. Right? Marching. You got some people who say that marching is some bull, and you got some people who swear by it. I agree with the first one. I agree that marching is some bullshit. However, I understand the other side. Okay? See, marching actually is a place where solidarity can start. The problem with marching is that people march and get, worked up and display all this passion, right? And that's it. They go home, busted, disgusted. I mean, maybe feeling some sort of satisfaction because they were able to voice their passions and their frustrations about a particular thing that's affecting them or people like them, be it here or abroad. But if nothing happens after the quote unquote march, then what have you done besides go horse and piss off a few people? It's getting hot in here. Marching is, however, where solidarity can be formed. Because when you're all out there and you look to your left and you look to your right, you know what I'm saying? It's important, if marching is your thing, it's important to look to your left and your right and in front of you and in back of you and talk. Like, word, yo, your old man taught you how to hunt when you was little? You from the country, you know how to pop them guns? Yo, we could use you. Oh, your grandmother had you, working with her in the garden? So you know how to plant crops and take care of your own food? You got knowledge in that? Boom, we could use you. Oh, you pretty good at writing speeches and stuff like that? You good at that? Boom, we could use you. Oh, you used to be in the military, special forces, so you're specialized in hand-to-hand combat and things of that nature. You know how to, make explosives and shit like that? We could use you. You know what I'm saying? Those are just some examples of how solidarity can start. And then on top of that, that's a perfect time to ask yourself, shit, what the hell am I even marching for? What's the end game? What do you want? What do you want? Granted, everybody has different wants when you're out there. But as you're collecting data from each individual, that's then when you have to ask yourself, okay, what now? What now? What can we do to get the most constructive results here? Let's form something. Off the grid, and let's make something pop off. You know? Your aim may be to focus on the youth. Your aim may be to, I don't know, take the idea of some brothers in, on the south side of Chicago who are standing on the street corners, seeing to it that kids are able to get to and from the school bus without being harassed by gang members or whoever. I think that's a dope concept, and I applaud those brothers. In fact, I'm gonna do some further research into this and bring it to light in the next podcast. I'm using that as an example of different focuses. I mean, there could be more than one focus. You can break off into sections, and each group, it's got different focuses. Yet we'll come together like Voltron and you know what I'm saying, and make some real change. And do yourself a favor, man. When and if you do start something, a little grassroots organization, fund it yourself. Fund it yourself. Don't get hijacked. People will come and entice you with money, funding. Oops. But that comes with conditions, though. Oops. And those conditions could possibly dilute your stance. Okay? Fuck a sponsor. Sponsor yourselves. Donations. Create products to sell. Quality products to sell. You understand? Pull your resources together and invest in making products that you can actually use to sell to fund your program. Do it yourself, man. This way, no one can control you. This way, you won't end up looking like Black Lives Matter. Do the research. Black Lives Matter is being funded by white people. You do the research on that yourself. So, yeah. So, when people say that marching isn't, it's not effective, they're right. And when someone would argue, would beg to differ with that and say, well, yeah, it is effective. Both of you are right. You know what I'm saying? It's bull if that's all you do is march. Yeah, so then they're right. But if you use marching as a starting point, then, then the other party is wrong. You feel me? Get it together, people. If you're going to do this thing, then let's do this thing. Some good things can come from that. Okay, each party involved has to not project their own views on someone else. People like to do that all the time, project their feelings and shit, their religious beliefs and all that shit off on you. I suppose we're all projecting something, right? I'm projecting, hey, look it up and do the research for yourself. I'm projecting, hey, think for yourself in my own way. I'm projecting that off on all of you who are listening. So maybe projecting, just like judging, we all judge. It's just that when we judge someone in a positive way, then it's easier to swallow. But when the judgment is not so good, not so nice, then that's when people want to get all up in arms and, yo, why you judging me? Only God can judge me. You're being judged, period. We judge all the time. We judge a situation to be safe or not. for ourselves or our children. You understand? All right. So yeah, marching can be effective if used properly. You understand? Yeah, I think about Nike and Kaepernick. Recently, Nike just made Colin Kaepernick the face of their brand. For a minute there, I started to think that, hold on, well, maybe Colin Kaepernick didn't sacrifice everything. But this deal was made after he was colluded against, from the NFL. So never mind that. However, I'm bringing that up to say that I find it rather interesting that in just 24 hours, the buzz, you know what I'm saying, with Kaepernick being the face of Nike, the buzz generated over $40 million in 24 hours. Think about that, man. 24 motherfucking hours. 24 motherfucking hours, 43 million. You believe people are going out like buying Nike and this, that, and the third because of this? Well, it's also people going around burning their Nikes too because they're opposed to it. They're opposed to Colin Kaepernick because he's got the balls to stand up for what he believes in.
It's getting hot in here.
Now, I'm not necessarily sure if both his parents are black or not. I don't think they are. Once again, you'd have to do the research yourself. But that don't mean nothing to me, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the fact that even though he was just minding his business, and even though I think deep down, I don't think he knew all of this was going to happen. I don't think he knew this was going. I don't think he knew it would come to this. You understand? He was just minding his business, and people came along and started asking him, well, why are you not standing for the national anthem? And that's when it grew legs. However, he could have bitched up and be like, okay, all right, well, fuck it, I'll stand. But he didn't. He stood his ground, standing up, for police brutality of black and brown people. I fall in that category. You fall in that category. Our children falls in that category. You understand? And he's willing to say, fuck that, I'm taking a knee. I, for one, appreciate that. It's one thing to talk that shit, but then it's another thing to actually stand up for it. Sacrifice some shit for it. I respect that. I respect that. And out of respect for his stance, for standing up for people like myself, I don't watch the NFL. I don't watch any games. I don't have nothing greasy to say about people who do, though. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to do, then do your thing. I, for one, I'm not with it. Yo, sidebar real quick. I've been taking some black seed oil, right? It's all natural, organic. Black seed oil is supposed to be, an organic painkiller, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antihistamine, anti-ulcer, and some other stuff. But man, this stuff tastes terrible. Some people mix it with some other type stuff, honey and some other stuff, I guess, to, make the taste a little more bearable. I go ahead and take that shit straight, no chaser.
I'm ready.
But damn, taste in my mouth right now. Still there.
God, Queens.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm bringing up the 43 million to talk about the black dollar. 43 million in 24 hours. Once again proving that black people got money. Black people got money. We got money. Dead ass. And who knows? That probably was, that's probably what Nike wanted to do in the first place. Somebody at Nike said, you know what? Watch this. Watch this. Bam. And 24 hours later, bam, 43 million. You know what I'm saying? Think, people. We could have did that for ourselves. All that money, we could have did that for ourselves. We're giving game up, man. We're giving up the game. We need to find something and focus on something and make that hot. But broken record, right? For everybody who's in therapy, answer me this. How you doing? How you feeling? You feeling good? I'm feeling good.
I'm ready. God.
Yo, therapy can be hard when you do it right. That's weird, right? Therapy is hard when you do it right. When you actually confront, you know what I mean? When you actually confront, your past, the culprits who've done things to you, when you actually confront it, well, okay, sometimes therapy is not necessarily what someone did to you. Sometimes it could be what they didn't do. Feel me? But when you confront it, I guess it can be scary is what I'm trying to say. But you'll come to realize, if some of you have probably noticed, that the fear is really just in your mind. Because once you confront these issues, it's like, damn, I could have did that a long time ago. Granted, it's never that easy all the time. Sometimes you got to understand that some people who did or didn't do something to or for you, they'll never fess up to that. So I guess I'm saying that to say that there's levels. I guess there's levels of healing. It's like there's levels to everything. Like there's levels to freedom. So like I said, therapy can, when you do it the right way, it can be hard. So personally, myself, I'm at a stage of, how can I put this? Not necessarily accepting the culprits who refuse to fess up. You understand? But I guess how I process it. Sure, I know that it's not a reflection on me. It's a reflection on them. Yeah, I know that. It sounds good. And I believe that. However, it's the process of processing that. That's where I am at this particular point in my development. But it's dope. If you haven't started and you've been thinking about it, listen, fam, go ahead and do it. Just do it. You'll thank yourself later. Black mental health is important. A lot of times we think that it's a white thing. And I may have said this before too. We think it's probably a white thing. The old heads back in the day probably told us, you know what I'm saying? They probably told you when you was young that what happens at home stays at home. And true, not everybody needs to know your business. But listen, if it's killing you or not. If you drinking your ass off, you know what I'm saying? And listen, there's a reason for that. It's affecting you, B. It's affecting you, Queen. Go ahead and do it. Do yourself a favor. Don't tell me you love yourself and you're walking around here with all this hurt. Prove it. Do something. It's opened up some doors with me and my moms. Therapy inspired me to say things that I should have said so much longer ago. You know what I'm saying? However, everything happens right on time, said the universe. And yeah, I'm making that up. But if it happened, when it happened, and the individual that I spoke to sounded as if they were waiting for me to do it, to speak to them, yeah, that's the way the universe wanted it. It felt right. Energy. It cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only change form. You understand? It's kind of ill when you think about it. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So if it cannot be created, damn, Does that mean that it was always here?
What the fuck about your ass?
So if we are energy, you understand? So we had to have, man, I'm gonna have to think about that a little deeper. That's kind of heavy. That's real fucking heavy.
Queens.
So this energy that's in us must have already existed in another form, perhaps. Reincarnation? Because of, I'll be here all day trying to decipher that. I'm one of them type dudes. So yeah, man, I didn't want to keep y'all too long. I just wanted to check in, say what's going on, and check it. There's this white, racist Uber driver. I was gonna say taxi driver, but let's go Uber driver. He pulls up, right, to pick up one individual. Happens to be black, but he's got two individuals with him, also black. Okay, so the guy who calls the Uber is notified on his phone, come down, your Uber's here, let's do it. Him and his two friends. Okay. The first guy who called for the Uber, he's Haitian. Okay, so he gets in the Uber and he gets in the Uber and he says to the white driver, "Hey, how you doing? Sac passe?" And in response, this white guy says, "Not boule." Don't be surprised if you say that to a white dude or a white woman, and they know a proper reply. Okay, all right. So that's the Haitian guy. So one of his other friends gets in, and he's from Kenya. So he gets in. He says to the cab driver, "Hey, Jambo, habari yako?" And then the driver says, "Si Jambo Asante," because once again, we give game away. We give white people the game. We do. So he knows how to respond. Matter of fact, as black people, we somehow we become impressed when white people know about our culture. Anyway, third guy gets in the car. He's from the south side of Chicago. He gets in. What's going on, man? All right. And boom, they go. They're off to going to wherever they need to go. All right. So they're off to their destination to do whatever, right? And this white guy looks in the rearview mirror. When he looks in the rearview mirror, what do you think he sees? Do you think he sees a Haitian, a Kenyan, and an American African? Do you think that's what he sees? Nah, B. You know what he sees? He sees three niggas. I hear you. I can hear y'all right now saying, who gives a fuck what he sees? Peep the message, King. He sees three niggas. Yet he knows that each of them are from different parts of the world. May have different upbringings. We aren't necessarily monolithic, meaning we're not all just this big lump of the same shit. We're different too. You understand? A brother from South Africa may be different from a brother from Mozambique. You know what I'm saying? A brother from New York may be different from a brother from New Orleans. We're not just this big lump of whatever. But in that rearview mirror, what do you think that white dude sees? He sees three niggas. White people don't concern themselves with all the titles and the little bullshit. They don't concern themselves with all of this other. Matter of fact, a white racist is actually more woke than black folks sometimes. Because while we sit back and convince ourselves that we're different from each other, even though we are, but I mean different in the sense of we think we're better. I'm better than you because, shit, you've been here in America and you've been here all this time and you people are lazy. First of all, get the fuck out of here with that. I mean, just for the people who think that, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Because don't act like you didn't come from a country that was fucking colonized in Africa. Stop it. Get the fuck out of here. Oops. Your stupid ass out. And if it was so prosperous where you were, why didn't you stay there? So stop it with the y'all stupid, you should have did this and did that. Stop it. Once again, I went off on one of those tangents. But what I'm saying is, we have a tendency to think that we're better than one another because of where we come from or some sort of financial status. You know what I mean? We're not different, man. The establishment sees niggas. I don't give a fuck if you speak Spanish. We need to understand that we are all connected. We are all one. You understand? In fact, that's what the ideology of Pan-Africanism is. It's the ideology that the only way for us to make some sort of progress is for all of us to unify. And I don't just mean black folk here in America. Well, if I did, that would be black nationalism. But I mean that, but on a global scale. Black people everywhere. The only way that as a people that we will make some sort of real progress, some real political progress, some real cultural progress, economic progress, is if we unify. Excuse me, is if we unify. You know, only then, I believe, can we achieve that. Granted, there's levels to that. But none of that will happen unless we unify. And since I subscribe to that ideology of Pan-Africanism, that makes me a Pan-Africanist. It's getting hot in here. So when I see myself in the mirror, I love myself. And I love my people. Maybe we should try more than, a little more of that instead of getting these bullshit ass titles thinking we're better than one another. And realize that we're all the same. We run around here speaking European languages. Myself, English. Others, French. Portuguese. You got these UK accents and whatnot. British accents and whatnot. We're all the same, man. We've all been colonized. We have, mentally. Oops. So that's my lesson in that. I know I went off on a tangent again. You know what I'm saying? I get it. We're indigenous and this, that, and the third and all of that. Yeah, okay. When I say black, you know what I mean. I choose to stick with black. Yeah, I get that black's not a nation, and I get that. But I'm black. I know who I am. But black is comfortable for me. I understand what it means. I understand that, black comes from the Latin word negro. Negro comes from the Greek word necro, which means dead. I get it. But when I say a black man, I don't really have to go much further. You already know someone of African descent. Well, I ain't black. I'm indigenous. I ain't like you motherfuckers. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. And that's my lesson right there. Once again, shout out to the Skill Youth Chess Club. If you want to make a donation, you know what to do. Another shout out again to good sister Deshauna Spencer and her founding of Quelly TV. I appreciate the whole notion, having the gumption, having the balls to bring forth such an extraordinary service. I watch it on the regular. As a matter of fact, I was just watching this movie last night called Fire with Fire. Man, that shit was heavy. There's some English in it, and then there's a lot of subtitles in there as well. Great story, full feature film. I mean, beautifully written. the acting, man, it's takes place in South Africa. You got to check it out. The shit is dope as fuck. You won't disappoint. Let me know what you feel about that movie. Download Quelly TV and let me know what you think about the programming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I also want to say, black people, love yourselves. I love y'all. But of course I love y'all because I love myself. Let's be good to one another. You know what I mean? Let's be good to one another. Man, come on. Let's do something with our black dollars. Let's do it. Y'all ready? I'm ready too. Word. I am King Rashidi, and this is Hoodies.
At the corner store, I ain't going broke. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, life is short. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's for sure. How they gon' tell me that I'm not in love? All of these Benjamins adding right up. No emotions when I fuck it right up. Staying focused when I lot on my mind. Inside, I'm just tryna see my ends rise. I'm just tryna see it inside. I'm just tryna see it rise. I got me a seat, so I gotta provide. I don't know why they won't race me, I just see the strides. I don't know why they won't shake up my dice. I don't know why they won't play on my 5. Fuck all that shit, that's letter X, that's letter Mac. I'm on the map, gotta relax. I got a stash in the bag, I'm gonna fast. I don't know what's going on, but I swear it's been wild. Play with the cats, got the heart of a lion. She just want bounce that ass up one more time. We can turn nothing to something sometime. You bossed up, yeah. Saw you bossed up. Oh fuck, your boss coming. Damn, just keep it coming. Yeah, tryna be my own boss. I swear, so I can fuck you right on the counter. Yeah, tryna feed the whole fam. Nobody get a hungry mouth. You know how hard it is when you ain't got no shit. Misery, shit, it'll get to me, but it'll never get to me. Remember me. I'm feeling like Buddha, got me here booted up. Sleeping from 3 to 8, tryna take my week. Yes, they gon' love you for a week. Yeah, coming up in a week. Couple weeks I could know, couple peaks I don't know, couple sleep at the shows, sweating a secret, stay with me, getting too decent, got me speed racing, I need some straight, it gotta go ahead and go get me straight, ay, I was impatient, now I got me straight, sleeping from 3 to 8.
Cold sweats, hella dollars think I got it made, got the measure tape I'm tryna build, playground gotta brainstorm, what's a man without his fucking word, kill anybody in my way, make a way for you, I don't know, swear I need me a fucking chair. The fuck it is, yeah, make me sweet, just a little me, misery, I know I'm not complete, I know I'm not complete, how you feeling me, you deal with me, how you deal with me, I know I'm not complete, I know I got the speed, I got what you need, oh your eyes are baby blue, why I'll master what is cruel, I'm tired of you.